Today we'll be learning about cubes and cube roots. So cubes and cube roots. So to find out a cube of a number, so let's say 2 cube. So this number is a power of 3. So, and this also can be called as an index, and this is called the base of the number. Okay, this is called the base and this is called the index. And so when we cube a number, in this case is 2, the index will be 3, and this is read as 2 cube. So let's say we want to do for 3 cube, right? And we want to do for 4 is 4 cube. Okay, so what does cube mean? 2 cube, it means 2 times 2 times 2. And what does it give you? 2 times 2, 4, 4 times 2, 8. So same for this, 3 times 3 times 3. So 3 times 3 is 9, 9 times 3, 27. So this one, 4 times 4 times 4 equals to 4 times 4, 16, 16 times 4 is 64. So okay, so basically this is what cubes is, and cube roots is actually the opposite of this. So if you cube root a number, you can write it in this way. So cube root, let's say 8. So a cube root of 8 is a number that when you is the opposite of the cube. So a cube root of 8 will give you 2. So the reason is because 2 to the power 3 gives you 8. So cube root is the opposite. So when you cube root 8, you'll get back 2. So same for 27. When you cube root 27, you will get back sorry, let me write this properly. When you cube root 27, you'll get 3. Okay, so this is how you solve for cube roots. Okay, so for these numbers, they are quite small, and it's easy to see that okay, you can try and error. So 3 cube, okay, you get 27. Okay, by the way, all these numbers 27 are considered as perfect cubes, because when you cube root it, it gives you a whole number. Yeah, so numbers like 8, 27, 64, all are perfect cubes because you could cube root them and you get back. You could cube root this and you get this, right? Like as seen here, right? So now let's try for bigger numbers, and that's where you have to make use of prime factorization. So let's see. Okay, let's say we were to find a cube. Okay, let's say 8 to the power 3. Okay, so for any numbers that is cube, it's just the same. So or you say 16 to the power 3, any number is the same, 8 times 8 times 8. For 16 is 16 times 16 times 16. Right, so 8 times 8 is 64. So when your exam doesn't allow you to use a calculator, you got to use the timetable manually. So 48,512, right? Same for 16. So 16 times 16, right? Okay, so for this there's another 16, so six, 3, sorry, 6 times 2, 12. Okay, that will be 15, and then 2, 5, 6, and what you get is 4096. Okay, so you can see that for cubes is rather straightforward, just times the number, but cube roots are a bit different. So let's see, let's just use this number here, 512. Okay, so let's say a question is asking what is the cube root of 512, and you don't have a calculator. So how do you approach this? So you can approach it by using prime factorization. So this is how you, so if you haven't seen the previous video on prime factorization, I think you should see it in order to have a better idea on what I'm doing here. And so 512 divided by 2, 256, 2, sorry, divided by 2. Okay, all these numbers, make sure they are prime numbers. So 128 divided by 2, it's 64, divided by 2, 32, divided by 2, 16, 2 is 8, divided by 2, 4, divided by 2 is 2, and 2 becomes 1. Okay, so see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we can write this as, we can write 512 as 2 to the power 9, but we have to make sure that we don't forget this. So there's still a cube root here, and to solve this question, actually it's quite straightforward. So you just use this to the power of 1 over 3. So we can see this as this form as well. Okay, this let me just show you a few ways to look at it. Okay, this is first way of how you're going to look at it. And another way you can look at it is, you can say that this is equals to 2 to the power 3 and 3. So what does this mean? So we actually take out a 3 from this 9. So because when we do this, this one will be equals to 2 to the power of 3. That's because this square root actually cancels out this 3 here. And a way to see this is that this number 2 to the power 3, you just make it as a, okay, let's say we just make it as 2, right? 2 to the power 3 and then square root. Yeah, this is an easier form of looking at it. So 2 to the power 3, we get 8, right? And when we when we cube root this, we know that it's 2 because 2 to the power 3 is 8. It's 8. So when you cube root 8, you get 3. So do you see that actually in this case, you see this 2 here, this 2 here. So 2 to the power 3 cube root is same as 2. So 2 to the power 3 cube, and then you cube root it, you get this. Okay, and for this part, why did I say about 1 over 3? Because after this, you would times 9 by 1 over 3, and this will give you 2 to the power 3. Okay. So this is actually the standard way of times. So like when in the brackets, when you times up, when you have a power and there's a power outside here, you times it and you will get 3. To explain it better, 2 to the power of 2, let's say, and you times 2, not times 2, this is to the power of 2. So okay, this one will be actually 2 to the power of 4 because 2 times 2 is 4, right? So that's how we broke it down in the first place for this example here. So 3 times 3, it gives you 9 here. But for this example, we change this whole thing to 1/3, so we can use the same thing that we times 1/3 by this, and this is the answer you get. So yeah, basically this is the basic principle of times. I can give you further examples. Let's say, okay, so sometimes it might not be just one number here, it might be 2 to the power of 2, and then, sorry, in this case it's cube, right? So 2 to the power of 3 times maybe 3 to the power of 6, and then, okay, for example, this thing is what you got instead of this. So, and you want to cube root this, so you cube root this, so you can write this as and then cube root this, and then 1/3, right? So this one equals to 2 times, so 1/3 you would 1/3 you would times 3, and that cancels out, becomes 1. 6 times 1/3 becomes 2, because 1/3 of 6 is 2, and so this is your answer. 2 times 9, 18. Okay, so let's see, the other way is to take out 3, right? So this is one method. Another one is to take out 3. So we can take out 3 by doing this. So the cube is here, so whenever there's no power, it's considered as 1. So 1 times 3 is 3. Let's check back. So 2 times 3 is 6. Okay, just do a quick check, and you cube root this. So what you get here is actually the same answer, because when you cube root a cube, is cancels out, and it only gives you the thing inside here, right? So yeah, and this is 18 as well. Okay, so this is basically how you could solve cube roots, and also I've gone through how you could find out the cube of any number. Okay, thank you, and see you in the next video.